Welcome to another episode of Ankle Sore and North Club Corner.
So join in the chorus.
And finally, we're at a club corner where we can discuss a win.
It's like something,
a great win.
It's like something off your back. My back's feeling better.
Yeah, a great win. Arguably the most important win since 2020.
That's incredible.
I think, for 5 years.
You're probably right. We've probably had
years.
like the odd win where you go, that was a great win, but this is important in, I think, the development's starting to come to fruition perhaps.
Yep.
And look, I don't know, you probably haven't been as critical, but I've been pretty critical. Like I'm sick of these honourable losses, and I think a lot of people are.
But it's not critical as in, geez, you're being critical like having a crack at you. You've been critical. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Like, it's not in a bad way, but let's just paint the picture.
Oh, Shane Healy on thread, are you?
Let's paint the picture. 16 degrees, sunny winter's day, MCG 60,000 people.
Watching it with the shadow on the wing.
And North winning. Like, could there be anything better than that?
Not really.
North winning a gate at the G, 60,000, beautiful sunny day, beating Carlton, 3 votes. Beating Carlton. Is there anything better other than a Friday night game?
Other than a Friday night, beating your arch enemy, either whether it's Essendon or one of those.
You enjoyed it, didn't you? It brought a little bit of a beat to the heart, didn't
absolutely, mate. Absolutely. But what did you think? The game itself, though, I think early on I think Carlton had a good...
Yeah, it was an arm wrestle.
In the first quarter.
It was an arm wrestle, you're right. Carlton had many opportunities early. They kicked 2-7. North hung in there. They hung in there. They get blown away.
Look, early off, what's your first quarter? I thought to myself, I'm not happy with the way Carlton was just getting easy running to the 50.
Yeah.
Lucky they kicked bad. Because if that was, say, 7-2 or 6-3, we're in trouble.
Yeah, you're right.
And it doesn't work that way.
That's crazy to think that, but it's true. Carlton... 40 uncontested marks, I think.
Yeah.
Was it quarter time or was that early in the...
Somewhere, it was early in the game,
close at half time.
Yeah.
But they were just chipping. And I've got a feeling, I don't know if it was instructed coach-wise, but I just reckon some smarter heads. Can you believe we're talking about North players with smarter heads?
Am I in the right?
They must have thought, you know what, they're chipping this footy. Let's put a lot of pressure on them. So we force them to kick, and we force them to kick ugly. Let's just get our mids back and then bring the footy. And wow.
Well, not just that. And the thing too is that Carlton playing that chipping game, I reckon North would have all the coaching stuff, whatever. They're not the greatest kicking side as in. They're not pinpointing with their kicking.
No.
So you're right. Put the pressure on. And I think the pressure got to Carlton. And when North got away in that second quarter, I think Carlton started to think, I didn't expect it.
I reckon they actually mentally thought, this game's gone.
Yeah, mentally I think so too.
And I think North was smart too, because I felt they were keeping the ball away from Carlton's tools. They were like, we'll get monstered if we go down the line.
Yeah,
Kerno comes up, bang.
On the other end,
we bomb the forward, Wiedering. And they were smart. They were sort of like...
trying to keep it away as much as they could.
That's right. They weren't being stupid with the footy. They weren't just letting the aerial...
Looks like there was a lot more of a thought process in the way they were playing.
Yep.
So then we get to...
It's been like that for 6 weeks now. Now, this is probably the result
of a good, probably a month and a half of footy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Also, just before we go on to some individual plays, and then in the third quarter, when we kicked the first two, I actually thought to myself, geez, we could win by 10 goals here.
That's what I was thinking.
We got to what was it, 46 it got to?
Yeah.
And then
46 at three-quarter time.
And then then Carl got a few back, and then we kicked away again.
Before we go to the last quarter, I thought we kicked away Hansen. The two most unlikeliest blokes to respond, Dylan Stevens kicked a wobbly helicopter.
Oh, that was terrible, but they all count.
Yeah, that's right. And Hansen kicked...
That was a nice finish.
And that was after Carlton kicked two quick ones.
Yeah.
So they got it back to 26.
And when it got to that, I thought, here we go.
In a roundabout way. In a roundabout way.
But we answered, and that's what I thought, this is a different North today.
Yep.
And then the last quarter, I'm not sure what happened. What's your opinion on it?
Our first raw opinion was we were a bit grumpy about it.
Yeah.
Admittedly, and I was a bit annoyed. But, at the end of the day, what's better? This is what I said to you. What's better, having this discussion and we've lost the game after being 46 points up?
No way.
Or we've won the game of footy. Right now, I don't care. We've won the game of footy.
Yeah, you're right.
I probably won't tolerate it if it's getting... into late next year and you're a couple of games out the 8 and you're a bit concerned about things like that. But I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Oh, look,
we won the game. Carlton had a crack in the last quarter.
Your mate that said the right thing. Maybe they just didn't know what to do. They got a bit lost. Carlton had a crack in the last quarter because Voss put a cracker up their backside. So, but anyway,
Yeah, and at the end of the day, North aren't such superstars where they can't be beat.
No, that's right. So Carlton would have thought about that
They got beat. It was even in the first quarter. North whacked them in the second and the third.
And then Carlton
won the fourth quarter.
I agree.
And could have won the game.
I agree.
In the end.
Sheasel.
Okay.
I've mentioned some players, I reckon.
Yep.
I thought Sheasel is back to, he's sort of, I don't know if he's back to his best, but he looked good.
How did you like him forward of the ball?
Yeah, I did.
I like great.
Because he can finish.
Yep.
And he gave a few good handballs. He opened up the play a bit.
Found some
and
space.
I've noticed he's getting to be tougher too. I thought early on he wasn't as tough. He's going to be tough. I thought it was one of his better games this year.
That's a good call about being tough. That's a good call. Because I felt sometimes he hasn't been.
No.
Not frightened or anything.
No. Not his game, but I think yesterday he just chipped in a bit more in the hardness side on the hardness side of it.
They gave him best on ground in all the media.
Yeah, a couple of media outlets.
Was he your best on ground?
No.
No, he wasn't
This
mine.
bloke I'm about to bring up I thought was BOG.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's starting to find his feet and he's starting to find his way. And I think he's starting to realise in his own self that he belongs in the AFL.
Yep.
Colin McCurch, I thought he was tremendous.
He was very, very good.
He got 30-odd touches, kicked 2 important goals, and his pace around the ground worried Carlton all day.
His 2 goals were tremendous.
Yeah, beautiful.
Both one at each. Both of them were just superb.
The first one where he just got him ran around whoever the Carlton bloke was, and I thought he's got pace, he's got skill. He's playing with confidence, and I think he's starting to believe. Yeah. So here's another one. Foss.
He was second best on ground for me. And these 2 players, I'll get Sheasel.
Finn O'Sullivan, we mean.
I'll get Sheasel, Davies, Uniac, Wardlaw, blah, blah. But McCurch and O'Sullivan, they are the future.
Is that kid composed?
These 2 blokes, he's played 12 games of AFL football. 12. I had to check that. McCurch has played 29. They were the 2 best players on the ground for me.
Totally.
A 29 gamer and a 12. They are the future of this club,
no
as
doubt.
well as they're the topping, the icing on the cake from what they've got.
And look, LDU and Kay, like you said, Simpkin, they all played well as well. I mean, it was a team effort.
LDU had a really good third. Was it the third or the second?
Oh, I thought he was good in second and third. He was pretty good. So, but those blokes we always Wardlaw. I mean, he probably needs to do a bit more. We've mentioned those guys, but they're the 3 that stood out. But one bloke I want to bring up, and this bloke you need to apologise to.
Is this a public apology?
Charlie Compton, are you mad? 3 weeks ago you made out of paper. He's soft. This bloke is the reason why other players look around and go, this bloke's playing with a broken shoulder, mate.
Yeah.
Mate, he was superb. And dare I say it, the old shin bone of spirit. You haven't heard that for about a few years?
He showed he's got that.
He has got that.
And people go, what is a shin bone of spirit? Nobody knows what it is.
No,
you got it. Yeah, and you can't explain it.
No, it's like a ghost.
But if you want me to apologise, I'm sorry, Charlie.
You need to.
He made a spoil late in the game.
Oh.
No, it wasn't late in the game. It was in the third quarter.
At one stage, he was like this. He couldn't even move.
Brilliant. It was brilliant. Can I just make a quick, not a cheerio.
A cheerio, yeah.
Nick Larkey took a contested mark.
That doesn't happen for about...
I know it was on Williams.
Doesn't matter.
But it was a contested mark.
That doesn't happen for a while.
I liked it.
Yeah, he's game.
It was 50 out, and then he ended up getting it to Zuha. I think we got a goal out of it.
Got a goal out, we did.
What do you think of his performance? I think he's slowly...
A bit better, but again, no influence, really.
Yep.
This bloke here, I must apologise to him, perhaps.
King Pink!
Tell you what, has he cemented his spot in that full-back line?
How can you say that? Cole won't get in a game ever again.
I'll be honest with you. Whether he's cemented or not, it's hard to say, right? But I personally think he has. And I personally think that Clarko will leave him there and just let him learn his craft and keep going.
Yeah.
Because he's smart enough. Look, I know Curnow not in the best form, but he beat him hands down. He
beat him consistently through the day. I don't think Toby Pink would have known this, but had he known this, if I was Toby Pink, when he lined up on Curnow, I would have said, you want to turn up to a football ground on a bike and take the piss out of me? I'm going to flog you today.
Really?
Oh, absolute... What are you doing riding into... I know it's North Club Corner. He rode his bike to the ground. Did you know that?
No.
Was it a
unicycle?
No, just on his mountain bike. There's vision of it on social media. Comes up to the gates, flashes his pass. Toby Pink would have turned around and said,
You're taking the...
Really, mate?
You're taking the piss.
Okay, let's go for the next 2.5 hours and I'll take you for a ride, if you want to ride.
Any other players you wanted to mention or anything else?
Yeah, let's talk about a few more players. We spoke about Larkey. I thought Sherry held his own.
Yeah, he was up against
TDK and Pitney. So, yeah, he was up against the big fellas. Darling.
It was okay. He did a few things. I mean, he got hurt in the first 20
Was
seconds
that
there.
the most brutal thing that you...
Yeah, like I thought his half of his...
It was horrible.
shin, but he was gallant. Again, Parker was gallant. And I thought Daniel, the three new boys, I thought all did well, you say, to a point.
Yeah, they were all part of the makeup of why they won this game of football versus 12 months ago.
I've got a question for you. And I know you don't know, I'm going to ask you this. Have they finally come of age?
They've come of age as a group. Like, this is the best performance we've seen as far as importance. Still going to get the stupid results. Like, we're going to get some weird ones at the end. Like, we're still going to get beaten comprehensively somewhere on the line. That's fine. But coming of age, yes, for this group, yes. For this, where they've come, yes.
Okay, I'll ask, and then staying on that principle, did you think round 2 when we smacked Melbourne that was the coming of the age then?
We probably said it at the time, didn't
That's what I'm saying.
And then Carlton got us in at Good Friday.
Goodness.
I'm telling you, our physicality and standing up for ourselves on the field
way better,
is
isn't
better.
it? Yeah.
And I reckon Carlton didn't expect that yesterday.
No, I don't think they did. And I think when it got too far and they couldn't reel, well, they did reel it back in the last quarter, but I think they were just shocked. You're right.
And I think you said something along last year or even the year before. Don't worry, these sides will be getting them in some time in due course.
The tide turns all the time, doesn't it? So before we knock this one over, seconds, VFL.
VFL won by a point in the twilight game.
Anything to like anyone that might...
Cooper Harvey played off half-back.
Yeah, what's going on
but
there?
I don't think that's his spot.
Got 20 odd touches.
Yeah.
Bailey Scott again, not much.
Bailey Scott didn't get much
15, 16 touches, I think.
Yeah. Malik kicked a couple.
Yeah, that new guy bench that we got in the mid-season, he's kicked 3 again. He's kicked 8 or 9 goals already.
He has, but he's another small forward, and I asked you this off air, like, if we're going to play him, he's taken Hanson's spot or Constanti's spot, who I think is a tremendous forward 50 worker.
He works hard. Doesn't get a lot of it. He's precious.
His tackling is incredible.
And right now, Hanson Jr.'s going okay, so he's probably not going to get a look.
I don't think so, but that forward 50 pressure that Constanti provides releases Zerha not to do that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
And Zerha gets into space and does what he does.
And he's looking better for it,
He's looking better for it, too.
And so next week, and what do you think?
Hawthorn, Launceston, tough. You're not going to... Like, I picked Carlton North last week comfortably. I'm not going to pick North. I'm not going to be that.
4:15 with the soap. You know, it starts to get a bit greasy.
It's a ridiculous time to play in Launceston.
Are they a chance?
Now we're getting to the point in our football life that the club we follow, you have to think that they're a chance now.
Yeah, okay.
Whether I pick them or not, but I'm expecting a competitive performance.
Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I think Hawthorn wins.
Yeah.
But I think we won't get blown away, if that makes sense. I don't think it'll be Hawthorn just rock up to Tasmania and do what they do. It won't happen.
And the next aspect that we're going to come up with opposition teams is they're going to go, well, we can't take this side lightly because they're coming. And we don't know what we're going to get today, but on their best, we can get beat. So that's another factor that North's going to have to face in the back half of this year.
And I just want to see the relentless pressure. What they did against Carlton, I want to see that against Hawthorn. Whatever the result is, we'll soon find out.
We're a long way from the Sydney loss and the Carlton loss from
I hope you're
10
right.
weeks ago.
I hope you're right.
There you have it, another episode of North Club Corner in the books and another win. We love reading your comments. We will reply to all of you. See you in the next one.
Go, Roo boys.